Hi, everyone. Welcome to Enjoy English. I'm Steven.
大家好，我是 Bernice.
Today's date is November 25th, and for the next 2 days, we're going to be looking at pages 48 to 51 under Science.
哇，今天我们要来探索科学一下喽。
The title is From Math to Machines, Alan Turing's Story.
我们今天要讲一个这个电脑科学之父的一个故事啦哈。他的名字呢叫做艾伦·图灵。那他呢其实是从数学这样的一个事情，然后慢慢引导到机器。我们当然知道机器就是讲这个电脑啦。
So we're showing a range from A to B, okay, from math to machines. How Turing paved the way for modern technology.
我们知道 pave 原本那个没有 d 的哈，它是一个过去式。Pave the way for 就是为了什么东西把这条路给铺出来。好，那我们就来看看这个文章呢，讲的就是到底图灵这个人是怎么样为我们现代的科技来铺路的。
Let's find out.
好的。
From Math to Machines, Alan Turing's Story.
Alan Turing was a brilliant British mathematician who changed the world. Born in 1912, he was a smart and curious child. Turing loved math and science from a young age, but his family offered little support for his interests. At school, he became close friends with a boy named Christopher Morcom, who encouraged him to be social and study hard. After Christopher suddenly died, Turing began to wonder what happened to the mind after death. This curiosity led him to turn to science to find answers to deep questions. Turing went on to study at King's College, Cambridge, and Princeton University. In 1936, he introduced the idea of the Turing machine, which laid the foundation for today's computers. Although this machine existed only on paper, it helped people understand what computers could do. As a result, Turing is widely regarded as the father of modern computer science. He even built a machine called the bomb to help Britain break Germany's secret codes during World War II. His effort saved millions of lives and helped shorten the war. Even with these great achievements, Turing was found guilty of a crime in 1952 because of his sexuality. He passed away in 1954, and how he died is still unclear. Decades later, however, he received a royal pardon. Today, his face appears on the British £50 note, which honors his legacy.
Alan Turing was a brilliant British mathematician who changed the world.
一开始就来讲我们这个主角啦，好，这个艾伦·图灵这个人，他到底是个什么人呢？一开头他就说，他其实呢是一个 brilliant， 我们知道这个 brilliant 就是相当杰出、相当棒的一个 outstanding 啊 ，outstanding， 这样相当棒的一个英国的这个所谓的数学家。我们可以看到这个字，它后面有一个 IAN， 我们通常看到 IAN 的这个人的字尾呢，就是表示什么职业啦，比如说 musician 就是音乐家啦，哈。那这个人呢，其实呢，他是要改变世界的。
So here, Alan Turing, this is the first time we're mentioning his name in the article, so we're going to use his full name. But in English, usually afterwards, we'll just use his last name to refer to him. So you'll start seeing Turing to be used when we're talking about him, okay, for the rest of the article. And mathematician is an expert in math, but even though there's an E in the middle of that word, you don't pronounce that E. You just say mathematician, okay? Born in 1912, he was a smart and curious child.
接着下来我们就来讲一下这一个主角他的一些故事啦。好，那这个人呢，其实 born， 我们知道这个字呢是一个分词构句，原本应该是 he was born， 然后把那 he was 去掉了。他是在1912年出生的，那么他一出生的当时呢，就是相当聪明，而且呢，他是一个 curious， 我们知道就是什么东西都很好奇，为什么这样就跟我一样哈，这种好奇的小朋友。
Turing loved math and science from a young age, but his family offered little support for his interests.
这个就听到这句话就觉得有点蛮悲哀的。像我们这种充满好奇心的孩子们，这时候我们就是需要家人的完全支持。可是呢，其实 Turing 这个人呢，他相当喜欢数学啊，跟这个科学这个东西，而且是很小，他就非常对这两个东西感到这个好奇，或者是感到有兴趣。可是呢，他的家人啊，就只有提供这么一点点 little， 就是将近没有啦，就表示呢，基本上根本就没有给他什么样的支持。什么样的支持呢 ？For 对于他的 interests， 就是对于数学跟科学的兴趣，完全没什么支持。
Yes, and in this sentence, the author could have started with from a young age, Turing loved math and science. That's often seen to give setting to let you know like when it started from a young age. But I do think the author wanted to let the sentence be like a more simple format, putting Turing as a subject in the beginning of the sentence because the sentence before it starts with the setting and the sentence after it starts with the setting. So sometimes you don't want to keep doing that for every sentence. So it just shows a little bit of variety without being repetitive.
Yeah.
Okay, and his family offered little support. You could say his family gave little support. Okay, so this little support, it means like 不多的. Okay, it's not just
几乎没有了。
几乎都没有, little support for his interests. And then this word interests, because it's the plural form, if it's singular, it's interest. Okay, there's very obvious T at the end of that word. But it's very difficult to say interests, okay, with a very hard T when it's plural. So usually we pronounce it like with a long S sound. Interests, like that. At school, he became close friends with a boy named Christopher Morcom, who encouraged him to be social and study hard.
好啦，因为呢，他在家人方面呢得不到什么样的这个支持，所以呢，还不错的，就是在学校里面呢，他其实呢就跟一个男孩子叫做这个克里斯多福的这个男孩子，他们两个呢就成为相当好 close， 就是非常这个亲密的这样的一个好朋友。而且呢，这个人呢，为什么他选择这个克里斯多福成为他的好朋友呢？因为这个好朋友他会鼓励他怎么样可以 social 一点。我们知道什么叫 social 这个字，当然你直接的翻译就是说你很懂一些社交。所谓的很懂的社交，就是你很喜欢 interaction with people， 你可以跟人家做一些互动啦，甚至呢，你也会懂得怎么样去外面找到一些机会。所以他这个朋友就相当鼓励他说，你要积极的去做社交这件事情哦，而且还有一件事情，你要好好的努力念书。
Yes, so encourage someone to do something or to be something is you just maybe give them a lot of advice or tell them you should do this, you can do this. That is encouraging someone to do something, pushing them to do something.
Yeah.
Okay, so his friend pushed him to be social. You could also say his friend pushed him to socialize. Okay, that's the verb form of being social.
Yes.
Okay, socialize, socialize. Okay. And then because a lot of times people are introverted, right?
太内向了，
Or they can be like Bernice 老师, extroverted.
我太外向了。
Okay. So introvert is 属于现在大家说我是 I 人, right? Introvert.
I 人
yeah. INTROVERT.
Yeah.
Or Bernice 老师 E 人。
我是 E 人。
Extrovert, EXTROVERT.
Yeah.
然后如果是形容词后面加 ED 就好了。Okay. After Christopher suddenly died, Turing began to wonder. After Christopher suddenly died, Turing began to wonder what happened to the mind after death.
好啦，可是很不幸的，他的这一个好朋友，相当好的这个朋友呢，不知道怎么搞的，突然有一天就过世了。那么这时候呢，图灵呢就开始去 wonder， 他就想要知道一件事情。到底一个人他如果死掉了，他的大脑里面the mind 他的这个大脑里面会发生什么样的一个变化呢？他想要去了解，因为他刚刚讲了嘛，他是一个充满好奇的一个孩子，所以呢，他觉得哎呀，我的好朋友过世了，可是我很想知道，如果真的一个人他走了之后，那他的大脑里面会发生什么事呢？
Yeah, so here I like how the setting is very matter of fact. After Christopher suddenly died. So you know it happened like all of a sudden, okay? No warning. But it doesn't want to, put too much emphasis or talk about Christopher's death too much, even though it's a big event, it's a big happening, but it still wants to stay on track and focusing on Turing and his journey. So this is a really good way for the author to not lose focus, to keep talking about Turing and his point of view. Began to wonder, okay, would begin to do something. This is the past tense, began. Begin to do something is like starting to do something. So he started to wonder or started to think about what happened to the mind. And the mind consists of the brain, the thoughts, the experience, the feelings of a person. What happens to the mind after someone dies?
没错。
This curiosity led him to turn to science to find answers to deep questions. This sentence to many people who are learning English might seem very difficult because there are so many twos.
啊，一堆的 to。好，
Yes.
我们来好好看一下这个句子啊。它的主词呢，就是 this curiosity， 就是因为这个 Turing 他本身呢，对于什么事情都充满了好奇，这样的一个好奇心。 导致这个人去做一件事情，我们知道这个 lead somebody to do something， 所以第一个这个 to 是跟着你的前面这个 lead 改成了过去式变成 led， 然后接着呢有一个片语叫 turn to something， 这个 turn to 就是你把你的这个注意力或者你的这个什么样的focus 转移到一个什么上面，所以呢这个时候呢，因为 Turing 本身的这个好奇心，引导他这个人转到他的把他的这个注意转到什么上面呢 ？Science， 他对于这个科学好来去做这个所谓的求助于他嘛，就是说，哎，我是不是可以从科学里面可以找到我刚才想要的那个答案？那么 to find answers， 为什么他转到科学 ？to 是 in order to， 他为了要找到这个答案。 什么样的答案 ？To 最后这个 to 是针对 answers 啊，什么样问题的答案 ？Deep questions， 当然我们可以知道 deep 就是表示很深的意思。那所谓什么叫很深奥的这个问题，就是说你很难真的一下子就知道答案是什么，你可能要经过很多年的研究啊，然后去探讨，最后你还不一定找得到答案。那这样的问题呢，就叫所谓的 deep questions。
Yes. So even though there are a lot of twos, each one has a very specific purpose that is very important to the sentence.
Yeah.
So I know sometimes teachers will say, don't keep using a word like that. It doesn't need to be there. You also have to know, even if it's repetitive, maybe it has an importance in that particular sentence. And usually it's prepositions that are repeated. But just know that sometimes they need to be there.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a short break.
好的。
Turing went on to study at King's College, Cambridge, and Princeton University.
后来呢，这个图灵呢，他就继续的 go on to， 好，就也是过去式，所以把 go 改成了 went。很多人说，哎，老师 go on 不是介系词后面那不是接 ing 吗？但如果这件事情是你还没有做过的，其实你还是要用 to 的。他就持续去做了一件事情，什么事情呢？去念书。那他念书的地点是在剑桥大学国王学院跟普林斯顿大学。
In 1936, he introduced the idea of the Turing machine, which laid the foundation for today's computers.
后来呢，就到了1936年，这一年的时候，他做了一件什么事情呢？他突然呢，就怎么样 introduce， 他就采用或者是推行了这样的一种想法。什么样的想法呢？他就把这个东西称之为图灵机。 他提出来这个机器的这样的一个概念，而就是因为图灵机的这个概念 which， 所以我们看到 which 前面加上了逗点，特别就是指这个 Turing machine 这样的一个专有的这个机器专有的这个名词。这个时候呢，这样的一个图灵机的概念呢，就奠定了 lay 的原型是 lay 这个字，就是把它放在那儿，放下了一个基础，就是表示奠定了基础。为了什么？ 奠定了基础呢？今天的这个电脑，所以它就是图灵机的这个概念，就奠定了当今电脑的基础。
Right. So Turing machine has quotations because it's the name of his idea.
Yeah.
And then lay the foundation for something means that you're providing an idea or a concept which other people can develop from or other ideas can develop from. You're laying the foundation. But laying the foundation can also not just be for abstract ideas, it can be for physical things. Like you're laying the foundation for a building by putting a stone or concrete or bricks. Okay, so you could also say that for buildings as well. And then today's computers just means modern computers, not just 今天的, okay? Although this machine existed only on paper, it helped people understand what computers could do.
就当时呢，虽然他有创造出这个概念啦，可是他并没有真正就是制造出一个像现在我们看到实体的一个电脑。所以他这边就说了，虽然呢那个电脑其实呢它本身存在 exist 这个字就是存在，它存在只有在纸上，就是他在纸上面做出了这样的一个想法跟一个概念。可是呢，他的这样的一个做法 ，it 就这件事情，却帮助了当时的人们去了解到，哦，其实呢电脑它可以做些什么事情。
Yeah, so when something is only on paper, that means it's only written down. It's not really taken into action to make an actual thing. Okay, so sometimes I might have a great idea and I'll share it with Bernice also, and she'll say, that's a good idea on paper. But
就是不切实际。
yeah. Like 就是光是写下来是还蛮合理的, but you know, actually creating it or doing it, it might not work out because there might be some issues, there might be some problems. So on paper, that's what it means by this.
Yeah.
Okay. As a result, Turing is widely regarded as the father of modern computer science.
也因此呢，图灵呢就被怎么样广泛的认为 widely 去形容后面那个 regarded 被认为，所以 be regarded as 就是被视为什么东西。你除了用 regard， 你可以用 viewed V-I-E-W， 你也可以用 look upon L-O-O-K-U-P-O-N， 被视为什么呢？ The father 就是什么什么之父，什么东西之父呢？现代电脑科学之父。
Right, so as a result is a good way to start a sentence, taking everything that we've mentioned before and saying because of these elements, because of these reasons, this is what happened. So as a result, Turing is widely, which means by many people across the area or across the country, widely regarded as, considered to be is another option as well. Turing is by many people considered to be the father of modern computer science. And usually the father of something is like the important male figure in the origin of something. So he's like a big important figure in the origin of modern computer science. And it made me think, I'm like, how come I never hear the mother of something?
对，也对啦，我们都讲什么之父，很少讲什么之母，对不对？
but there are a lot of female creators in the past and who have done great inventions, but we just don't use that as much. So I do think it's a little bit sexist.
可能也有一点性别上面的问题。
If you did say the mother of something, people would know what you're saying. It just isn't very common. Usually you would say the founder of something, F-O-U-N-D-E-R. Okay, but yeah, I think we need to change that. We need to use mother of something, something, something as well.
Okay.
He even built a machine called the bomb to help Britain break Germany's secret codes during World War II.
甚至呢 Turing 还做了一件事情呢，他做了什么样的事情呢？他就 build， 他就去制造了一个机器。那这个名字呢，这个机器的名字被称作为，所以用 called， 它被称作为呢，就是叫炸弹，那就 bomb 那个字嘛哈。那为什么他把这个机器称为炸弹呢？不是说这个机器本身是个炸弹，它主要呢创造出来这个机器呢，就是因为它要帮助当时英国呢，他们在第二次世界大战。然后呢，他们要破解当时德国的那个密码，我们知道 code 就是密码的意思，所以他为了要破这个密码，所以就创造出来这样的一个炸弹，叫做炸弹的一个机器。
Yeah, so he even built a machine. 他甚至 so make sure that even is before the verb. Here, the machine is called the bomb, right? So it's capitalized. This time it's not in quotation marks because earlier when we were talking about the Turing machine, that wasn't really like an official name. Okay, that was just like the name of his idea that was kind of something that he created, but it wasn't officially recognized. But the bomb is like an official name of the machine that he created, which is why we don't need the quotation marks. Okay? And then to help Britain break Germany's secret codes, when we're breaking a code, that means that we are finding out what the password is or the secret code is, and then we're breaking it. We're letting it be revealed, okay? His efforts saved millions of lives and helped shorten the war.
那也就是因为他这样的一些的努力呢，就拯救了好几百万人的这个生命，甚至呢也帮助呢把这个战争的这个时间呢缩短了。我们知道这个字 short。后面加上 en 就变成了一个动词，不过这个发音也是相当的特殊，因为这个 t 也是卡在中间的。我们请 Stephen 老师来帮我们念一下咯。
Right, so it looks like it should be read as shorten, okay, but which is acceptable. But
Yeah.
as local English speakers, we would make that t silent and just go shorten, shorten. Helped shorten the war. All right, let's take a short break.
好的。
Even with these great achievements, Turing was found guilty of a crime in 1952 because of his sexuality.
一开始呢，他就讲了，即使有谁有啊，就是我们这个主角嘛，这个图灵呢，即使他其实身上拥有这么多伟大的一些achievements， 就是我们讲的一个人达到的一些成就，他有这么多的伟大的成就，可是呢，他依然在1952年被人家 found， 然后当我们知道 found 这边有发现的意思，那意思就是说，大家觉得判你要这样的一个罪，什么样的罪呢 ？guilty， 我们觉得他是有罪，什么样的罪行？他用 of 这个介系词，就是他被判有一个什么样的罪。这个罪呢，是因为他的所谓的 sexuality 这个字，就是指说他的性方面的这个取向。他们觉得在当时的这一个社会里面没有办法有这样的一个取向，所以呢，他们就认为你的这个性取向可能我们要把它判成有罪，即便他是一个非常伟大、有发明这么多成功的东西的人。
Which I find ridiculous. But anyway, so great in this situation, great achievements. The great means impressive achievements, okay? And then when the judge finds you guilty, when they think you're guilty, they say they find you guilty. So this is the past tense. He was found guilty, right? He passed away in 1954, and how he died is still unclear.
对，所以你看这个时间相当的接近，1952年才被判有罪，也不过2年的时间，他就过世了啊！所以1954年他过世了。可是呢，到底这个图灵他是怎么过世的呢？目前呢还是 unclear， 就是我们也不是很清楚啦。
So pass away is another way to say die, but because the author already uses that verb in the second half of the sentence, so pass away is just another way to say that, okay? Decades later, however, he received a royal pardon.
可是呢，又过了几十年，他的这个生活，就是他的人生的变化也其实挺大了。他1952年被判有罪，然后2年之后他去世了。可是10几年之后，好 decade， 我们知道一个 decade 就是10 years，所以 decades 就是好几十年。总之过了好几十年之后 ，however， 他把这个 however 放在这个中间，你要放在头也可以，however 就直接逗点，这样也可以可是呢，过了10几年之后呢，他得到了一个东西，好，什么东西呢？叫 royal 就是当时的皇家的一个 pardon。这个 pardon 的意思呢，就是一种特赦就是把他，因为他本来是被判有罪嘛，所以现在就是特赦你说你没有罪了，所以就是获得了皇家赦免。
Yeah, 然后这里他就把 however 放在 decades later， 因为他想先给那个 setting，然后再讲 however 一个转折，然后再讲 main idea. He received a royal pardon. 那 royal 平常都跟贵族有关的，所以平常是可能皇后还是王子whatever. 对，Today his face appears on the British 50-pound note, which honors his legacy.
这边的 note 并不是我们讲的笔记这边的 note 是指我们的纸钞 paper note。他说呢，结果呢，到了如今，就是现在，你如果去看这个英国的英镑，50元的英镑，它的这个英镑的纸钞上面，你就会看到它的一个脸，就是它的这个头像就出现在上面，所以这个 appears 就是出现的意思，所以它的这个肖像呢，其实就是出现在英国50英镑的这个纸钞上。那为什么会有这样的一个出现的这样的状况 ？Which 就这件事情呢 主要是要 honors 要来纪念他的一个 legacy。我们知道这个 legacy 就是一个人死后所留下来的这些遗产也好，或遗留物也好，也就是他给后世的这些所谓的伟大的成就，还有这些成果留下来的，所以我们要纪念他。因此，英国的50英镑上面会看得到他的肖像。
Right, and 50 pound is a compound adjective, taking 50 and pound to say it's a 50 pound note. And in Britain or in the UK, when you have paper money, we call it a note. But in the US, when we see paper money, we call it a bill, B-I-L-L. So make sure you know that cultural difference as well. All right, so tomorrow we're going to find out more about Alan Turing's legacy. So we hope to see you then.
OK，拜。